Welcome to the show. My name is Jeremy Poole, and I'm the host of The Moment, where we explore and celebrate the necessary transformational process you must go through to achieve a high level of success in the real estate industry. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to panel number 10, where we search far and wide to bring some of the best and brightest in the real estate industry. Let's kick this panel off, starting on our right.
My name is Tonja Wortham, and I am the Business Development Manager for New American Funding.
I'm Stephanie Maulding, and I'm a loan officer at Cross Country Mortgage.
My name is Greg Erickson, and I am one of the owners of John L. Scott Snohomish.
My name is Tim Samuels. I'm the branch manager of Cross Country Mortgage in Seward, Washington.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys all for being here today. Super excited to have you here, and I can't wait to jump right in. Tim, we'll start with you.
Sure.
And as you guys know, I'm going to be asking you guys the same question, but you're going to be answering it from the perspective of your current roles.
Good.
So, Tim, I'm thinking about your current roles and responsibilities. What are some of the greatest challenges and opportunities that you're facing right now, and how are you handling it?
I can tell you right now, I know the challenges right now have been hiring.
Okay.
We're super busy. If you've looked anywhere, you know that real estate's hot, and of course lenders are trying to keep up.
Sure.
So we want to do a better job, we want to grow, we have to hire people. That's been tough.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, if somebody doesn't have a job, we've kind of noticed they don't want a job.
Okay.
So we've had to recruit, and it's really tough to poach from somewhere else, because if somebody's willing to leave their current lender, if it's competition, you got to ask why.
Sure.
Because they've never been busier, they've probably never been better compensated than they are right now. So hiring people fresh into the industry is what we've had to do.
Okay.
That's been a challenge. Training is definitely there. They don't bring in any bad habits, from different companies.
Yeah, they're green.
Yeah, they're green. So that's been good. That's been a challenge, and also it's been a great opportunity because we start with a blank canvas, and we've had some really great hires.
Okay.
Some COVID casualties where their companies completely shut down.
Awesome.
We're able to bring them in. I mean, shoot, we've got some great people now, but able to staff up really well. So
excellent. So
kind of some going on.
On that front, is there a particular industry that you guys look to, like the kind of people who typically have the kind of characteristics and virtues that you're looking for?
Yes and no. That's a great question. I mean, everybody always thinks, you want the bartender, you want the people that can just be the social butterfly. Mm-hmm. But what we do too is we have to do personality testing with people.
Okay.
So if I'm looking for somebody who's going to be a lot of data entry and a lot of maybe behind the scenes work, I don't need them to be the social butterfly.
Sure.
And the person who can talk to anybody. I need them to be very focused and very alert and very sharp.
Gotcha.
Kind of like a vault with documents. And then if I need somebody else on the front end, maybe I do want them to be a little more social and able to pick up the phone. So we personality test for the positions.
Excellent.
And that's been the best thing ever.
Awesome. What do you think is the biggest opportunity for you right now that you're seeing in the market, or perhaps in the future that you guys are ramping up for? And maybe it's just staffing up.
Staffing up has been huge, because I think right now with the more capacity we have, we can fill it up just as fast.
Okay.
I think it's really delving in and future servicing of more military clients. Where we're at, there's such an abundance of it. We just had the Teddy Roosevelt come in. I mean, we're going to be busy for a long time.
Wow.
But we also want to make sure we take care of everybody.
Mm-hmm. So
everybody's making a lot of money, but at the same time, that's all great. Yeah. If you're not taking care of people, you're going to be broke on your personality. You're going to be out really quick. So we have to make sure that we take care of people.
Excellent, love that. Well, instead of just going down the road, because that's boring, let's jump to Tonja.
Okay.
So same question, in your current role and responsibilities, what are some of the greatest opportunities as well as greatest challenges that you're facing right now?
Well, I feel as though there's always opportunity. You just have to be able to see what's in front of you and discern what the market's doing right now. I would agree that hiring, especially last year, was challenging. We managed to attract some really high-level, talented
That's awesome.
processors, underwriters, LOAs, and so it's been good that business is continuing to grow because we can retain all those people. We want to keep them.
Sure.
I think that the shift in the market right now, where last year was a real big refinance boom, and now we're shifting towards a purchase market, and yet there's that resistance in the purchase market because on the real estate side, it's so competitive.
Sure.
And I have friends who are real estate agents that are looking at 18 to 20 offers, 6 hours after they listed the home.
Yeah.
And that's just a lot for somebody to be taking on, especially if they have a big business.
Sure.
So in our company, one of the things that we're doing is we're really focusing on giving a lot of support to our realtor partners,
Wow.
making sure that we, have everything they need in order to move quickly through the transaction. New American Funding has some, kind of breakthrough products that are coming out right now that are
Okay.
going to help people win the deal. And, we just do a lot for the real estate agents. And so
Wow.
that's been working out really well. We've attracted new realtors that are coming on board with us, and then we're preferred lenders in a couple different brokerages now. The biggest opportunity for us, though, is really growth.
Okay.
So we are, New American Funding is a company that's been around Washington for about 6-7 years. It's actually one of the top 5 retail lenders in the country, and they're based in Southern California. So one of my visions for New American Funding is to really cast the vision out in the Puget Sound as well as just our Northwest region.
Sure.
So we're Washington, Oregon, and Idaho. So getting the word out, making sure that people understand what the company's all about. And so we're excited about the results that we're getting from those efforts.
Yeah.
I personally feel that there's a lot of really great companies out there, and it all just comes down to the who.
Sure.
And, who's the best match? Everyone, can close a loan. Someone might be able to close it faster. There's a lot of dynamic things happening in the industry right now where companies are going public. They're merging. That's not always a good thing.
Yeah.
And so I feel like another opportunity for us is that we are solely owned
Really?
by
Okay.
Rick and Patty Arviello. We service all our own loans. We have tons of great in-house product, and my SVP has a direct line to the president of the company and the
Yeah,
CEO.
that's huge.
And there's not a lot of middlemen going on, and there's not a lot of people that are beholden to stockholders. So I feel like anything is possible.
I love it. Awesome.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Greg?
Yeah, I would say I'll address the challenge question first.
Okay.
I think the challenge for us, we are part of a regional company. John L. Scott is a pretty well-known name regionally, based right here in Bellevue. We are a small, brand new office. We opened with 2 people,
Okay.
me and my business partner, in March of 2019. So our biggest challenge is staying ahead of people that have already been in business for a long time.
Sure.
So we look at other brokerages, how they've been successful, techniques and methods that they've used, and we went in a completely different direction with our model. We're a very unique situation. We are based on a co-work concept. So we're an open space with games and massage chairs and beer on tap and all these things, and we collaborate with local businesses all the time. We are technically a co-work space.
Wow.
So our biggest challenge is how to build our individual brand and stay 2 or 3 steps ahead of other businesses that have been massively successful in our market for decades even.
Interesting.
And so we're trying to do something new,
Okay.
and that's our biggest challenge, just staying a couple of steps ahead of our competition in our local market.
I love that. So I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Is what are you guys doing to help spread the word? Because I'm very familiar with the company, and I do remember talking to some of the folks in your company when you were beginning to think about this concept. And I'd imagine that COVID really put a damper on things because the whole focus of that is to bring people together. And now you just had the last 12 months where you had to stay apart. So now that things are starting to open back up, what are you doing to help spread the word?
So great question, and I'll actually sort of correct you a little bit.
Okay.
because there was an aspect of what we do that we did not realize would be a benefit to us during COVID.
I see.
We are not actually a real estate office. We are first and foremost a co-work space.
Okay.
So we were an essential workspace through COVID.
Sure. Oh.
So our agents were able to be together. We had to be responsible. We had to wear masks. We had to socially distance.
Yeah.
But we grew from under 30 agents at the beginning of COVID to over 60 agents during COVID.
Wow.
And it was because agents didn't have a place to go and have resources.
Okay.
They couldn't get in-person training. They couldn't print marketing materials
Yeah.
out. And so in our office, because of this unique circumstance of what we are, agents were able to do that. And so we grew exponentially during
Yeah.
COVID. So the second half of the question, the opportunity,
Yeah.
the opportunity for us is to continue to use what we learned through COVID, through this time where personal interaction was a massive importance deal that we didn't, so many people get into our business so they don't have to go to an office, so they don't have to go to work every day. And what we learned while we were all sort of locked up is that we really, really need and thrive on that personal interaction.
Sure.
And so if we can take the opportunity that's presented to us through these struggles and support each other and support other businesses in our community, we will continue to grow and thrive as a business. And I think that's the one thing that we really talk to potential agents that come to us and ask about our office. We talk a lot about community service.
Okay.
That's a really big thing to us, and we may not be the perfect fit for every agent, but for the agents that have chosen to come work with us, being like-minded in that community service role has been a huge opportunity for us.
Okay, so that's something I'd like to dive a little bit deeper into, is a focus on community service and serving your community. Is this a new initiative, or is this something that you guys have been doing for a while now?
So it's new in the sense that our office is new.
Okay.
But when my business partner and I started this business, it was absolutely our focus from day one.
Okay.
Small things. We have a big Ford Transit van that's wrapped and branded to our office, and it's free for anybody to use in our community. They can come get it anytime, they register for it. All we ask is they bring it back with a full tank of gas.
Cool.
And so the food bank uses it, churches use it, the schools around use it. And so that type of thing, partnering with local farms. We go out and we get on our hands and knees and get dirty and pick. Last year we picked corn, the year before we dug potatoes. And we bring that food back to Community Food Bank. We partner with them for a lot of things. Highlighting businesses, especially during COVID, has been a huge thing. We hire a video production company, and they come in and they do promotional videos for restaurants, bars, boutiques, florists, because they've been so impacted negatively during this close down. How can we help get their name and their vision and their business out? Not branded to us at all. It's just something we do for the people in the community.
Wow, wow, wow. Very cool. Love that. Stephanie?
For my challenges and opportunities.
Yeah.
Well, after going through 2020 and COVID, I feel like that was the biggest challenge that I didn't foresee coming ever in my life. And changing companies in the middle of it also really brought some challenges, but some great opportunities too. So having been through that, I feel like kind of now I'm kind of coasting a little bit. But as far as challenges, I think that our biggest would be just managing workload to make sure that one person isn't having too much, and just making sure that it's good and we're not facing some overwhelm, because it's just after last year it was too much, honestly.
Sure.
And you can't keep running at that pace forever. So pulling back a little bit and keeping balance and making sure that my team is taken care of, that's my biggest challenge.
Okay.
For opportunities, right now I'm just feeling like so many people missed out on community last year. And
Yes.
we just had our first happy hour last week, and it was awesome. People were like, I get to see an actual person and give them a hug. I'm like, yeah, you actually get to give a hug safely. But
Safely.
anyway.
How do you do that?
Yeah, well, I mean, hopefully you're vaccinated,
Sure.
that kind of safely.
Yeah.
But it's just fun to reconnect.
Totally.
And
So
build those relationships.
So
with
that
it.
being said, you guys had your first happy hour.
Yeah.
Well, question number one is how many people showed up?
I had 15,
15,
roughly.
okay. Nice.
Yeah, which is kind of
Where?
a good number. Over at a bar in West Seattle called The Bridge. It's
Okay.
awesome. They have a back patio area. We played cornhole.
Yeah, that's
had
fun.
apps and drinks and
Awesome.
just hung out. It was sunny, but not too hot.
Sure. And so was that something that was like a branch thing, or did somebody say, hey, let's just
It's
get
me.
together?
It's
you.
my thing.
You're the,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
You're the party planner.
Yeah.
Good work.
Yeah.
And so what's next?
Every month.
Every
We're
month.
gonna do it.
Okay.
Yeah. But
New-
RSVP first because I need
Okay.
to plan for it.
Sure. So is your plan to like bounce around, or are you going to stay at the same place?
I used to bounce around, but I think I'm probably going to stay at least once a month at this one place.
Okay.
I may
So
add
lots
more.
of parties then.
Well, at least one a month.
Okay.
So that's easy to manage.
Sure.
It's a great way for people to just
Yeah.
connect.
Absolutely.
And it is mostly real estate agents that I invite.
Okay.
Also some financial advisors, insurance, a handyman. So they all have something to talk about.
Right on.
And I think that's key.
Is there a specific agenda, or is it just hey, come out,
It's just,
have
hey,
fun,
Yeah.
have some drinks?
I don't present anything.
Okay.
Official, like I am throughout, the conversations, of course. But,
Yeah.
But it's just very casual.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Tanya, I'd like to get back to you on some of the cool stuff that you guys are doing over there. Is this stuff that's sort of brand new that you're reacting to the market, or is this stuff that's kind of been in the works for a long time now?
Well, I started as a business development manager there about a year ago, and the business was thriving, everything was doing great. There hadn't been a lot of growth, and that's just kind of my jam,
Sure.
right? I like to,
Go
grow
big.
businesses,
Yeah.
and so with a fresh set of eyes coming in, I've worked in lots of different offices on the mortgage side and the real estate side, ran offices, and so I have a sense of what works and what doesn't work, and it was a challenge with COVID because the connection wasn't there. So trying to find ways to keep people connected. We had a lot of online parties with people, and we pulled it off, and it went really well.
Yeah.
Right now, I think that getting people to come back into the office is a bit of a challenge.
Okay.
So we're enticing them. We're having events and things like that. People just need to remember what it feels like to actually interact and have that momentum that can build within an office and your
Yes.
colleagues. So the events that we're doing outside, we're very involved with the industry. So like we just sponsored a hole at the WNBA golf tournament.
I saw that. That was very cool.
Yeah, and it was so fun, and it was so great to get out there, and everyone was having so much fun because it was the first time that they really could do it. They did the golf tournament last year,
Right.
but nobody could talk to each other really, and then you just went home afterwards. So they had the dinner and the party, and people were very festive, and so all of that is an opportunity to sort of connect with people within the industry and real estate agents. I think that we all boats rise with the rising tide,
Sure.
and so reconnecting with the people in our industry like what we're doing today, I think helps all of us because we start realizing what's working,
Yes.
what's not working, and how can we move forward in this new environment. I personally feel like it's never going to go back to the way it was before. I think that some of the benefits from what we've gone through was that we got really good at Microsoft Teams and Zoom meetings. So when I first started having to do that, it was a bit daunting to me. I was always like a face-to-face,
Me
across
too.
the desk type person, like, hey, walk with me, right?
Yeah.
And really learning how to project body language and
Yes.
emotion.
It is
and things
absolutely
like
a
that.
skill. It's something different to do via Zoom.
It's very one-dimensional, and so I felt that one of the keys to it is investing in education and training. We have an all-team meeting every month, and I bring in a special speaker. This last one we had Rene Rodriguez, and he is a coach who really has mastered the ability to communicate
Yeah.
on screen
Sure.
or in person,
Yeah.
and so a whole bunch of people in our region are now investing in better equipment.
Yeah.
right? The
Better
lighting,
cameras, lighting, background.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if you spend a couple $1,000s, you can get a really great rate of return.
Yes.
Because even if you're somebody that wants to go in the office, your
Sure.
clients probably don't.
Right.
And it's not even that they're not scared. I don't think people are scared of other people.
Yeah.
I think that it's just
It's more convenient. We've learned that it's more convenient.
Yeah, I mean, back when I was working down here in Bellevue, I would sometimes drive 3 hours to go to an appointment,
Right.
and for a 1 hour appointment, and then drive
Yeah.
3 hours back.
Yeah.
And imagine what I could have gotten done if I could have that same appointment.
Absolutely.
So I took the responsibility of getting better at that and really understanding how our industry is going to look moving forward. So finding those ways to get people together is, it might look a little bit different, and they may be smaller groups, but when you do get in front of them,
It's
you
big
want to
impact.
make an impact on
Yeah,
them.
it's definitely a big
Yeah,
impact.
there's no better time in history to have people feel connected to you.
Yes.
Because if you
yes.
can get them
Yes.
to feel that, I mean, you're golden.
Yeah, that's right.
There's not a lot of noise around that right now, so it's a good time to
Great input.
get in front of people.
Absolutely. Recently, it's kind of weird. Even though I do a lot of video, I feel awkward being on Zoom because I can't read your body language. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm doing a good job or not, and I don't know if you understand what I'm saying, any of that. And then also, I'm trained to look dead at the camera. So if we're on Zoom together, I'm looking at the little camera because I want you to feel like I'm
Yeah.
looking in your eyes. And
So
and-
what they see is this, right? Or you're kind of like looking at your
yeah, exactly. And just recently, I've become more aware of like what the background is, because some people I'm talking to, and they're privy to the fact that their background matters, and they have this beautiful background, and then I'm influenced by that, and then some people are completely unaware and have like a white wall. So recently, I've been doing my Zoom meetings outside, so
Yeah.
I'll find like a beautiful background where there's flowers, and people always comment like, "Where are you?" Like, "Oh, I'm in my backyard," and it just sets the tone.
Yeah,
So
that's a good idea.
all of that stuff is really important.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that you guys are doing a lot of stuff in the community, but are you doing much as a team? So you went from 30 to 60. How are you keeping those guys together so they feel like they're a part of a team rather than just,
Yeah, echoing what has been said over here, in-person, non-work stuff is essential.
Okay.
So we
In-person non-work stuff, I like that.
Yeah, in-person non-work stuff. This last weekend, we took all of our agents and their families that wanted to go to the races.
Cool.
So we've got Evergreen Motor Speedway 7 miles down the road, and so it's Crash Up Derby, it's figure eight, it's
Yeah.
all kinds of craziness.
Yeah.
And we took people, and it's a 5-hour event. And we said, hey, show up at 5. We're gonna have a group picture at 5:45, and if you want to stay for as long as you want, stay as long as you want. We had T-shirts made, and there was no agenda. It's
Cool.
just show up. The only thing that we asked is that we get a group picture. Aside from that, happy hours are a huge thing. So
Yeah.
we've always, since we opened our office, we have a happy hour every other Thursday.
Sure.
And it's in the office.
Yeah.
And it's because we're a co-work space also, there's
Yeah.
people that are not real estate related. And we do everything we can to have that be a non-work thing.
That's great.
It's just hanging out. Next Wednesday, my wife and I moved into a house in September that we spent a year building, and we haven't had really people over because
Yeah.
of what's been going on. We're hosting our first happy hour next
for
Wednesday
you.
at our house.
That's
you guys are
awesome.
all invited if you want.
Do you guys film these events? Do you have a camera person?
So
that-
yes and no. We do want to be intentionally showing our community involvement and our team togetherness. That is an important thing. Some events we highlight it more, some events we don't. The weekly happy hours, that's just let's have fun. We'll play foosball, we'll play cornhole, we'll have a themed drink. And that's usually people will snap pictures and post them on Instagram and tag the office. But it's organic, it's not an intentional thing. The group picture at the races, that was very intentional,
Yeah.
and we will use that.
Sure.
We're the primary sponsor for this big community event coming up in August in Snohomish called the Snohomish Block Party. Sir Mix-a-Lot is the prime act,
amazing.
and it's going to be awesome.
Wow.
And
I
so
grew up in Snohomish my whole life.
It's crazy, right?
It's Sir Mix-a-Lot was like very popular
Yeah,
back when I was
yeah.
in high school.
And so
This is on Broadway.
yeah,
right?
so
Yeah.
no, it's we don't have a Broadway in our little. It's around the corner. It's, but that we will hire. We've got a photographer, and that photographer will be there. There will be drone footage and video footage, and we will use that. Yeah, we will use that like crazy.
It's a must for
I
sure.
think I mean I would encourage you to make more like reels, because I've been doing a lot of research on it, and those are the type of things that they get out there and people will share them,
Yeah.
or they'll see them in,
Yeah.
and the algorithms will benefit you. And if you're doing these fun little events, it could just be like those, you know, those 2-second videos
Yeah,
where you
it's
put
a
a
really
bunch of
good
little
idea.
things together, and then the people that work in your office, it registers in their mind that they had a good time, that they were connected.
Yeah, that's a really
and
good
then
idea.
agents outside of the office that see that are like, you know, I want that, right? They're
Yeah.
and
So-
you,
which is-
you
that's-
guys are putting all this effort into it. Everything has to be cast out
Yes.
through social media and film anymore.
Yeah.
So I mean,
That's
I'm-
a good idea.
It's
It's a really
easy.
good idea.
You could do it on an iPhone,
Yeah.
and then just have somebody that knows how to edit it together. But we started doing that as well, and it was a little clunky at first. We weren't sure if people would like it. You know, it's like, is it too much? Do they not want to be on camera? But my thing is, you really don't have a choice to be on camera anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, this is how you look.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it. It's everybody's number one
Yeah,
complaint is I'm
right.
not comfortable with
Yeah.
how I look right now. Well,
Well,
you guys all see exactly how I look right now.
It's
so
not going to
gotta
get
be-
any better the older
Yeah,
you
yeah,
get.
yeah.
So, you know, I just think that in our industry right now, we have a huge opportunity here in the Northwest, because it wasn't something that was done as much before. Down in Southern California, all these mortgage companies are on the TV doing commercials and things like that, and they're the more local brands. Whereas what we've seen are the huge national brands that have been doing those commercials. But it'd be nice to see the people more locally.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It matters, just like how we were both having a conversation. It's one thing to have one interaction or one meeting, but if somebody's really serious about working with you or considering joining your team or your company, the more they see you in a genuine light that's not like
Yeah.
direct marketing, to see you having fun, smiling, talking about something you're passionate about,
Not
it definitely
polished.
makes a huge
Yeah,
impact.
not, not fake.
Yeah, not fake, not canned. It's
Right,
like
yeah.
to where it's obvious
Right.
that it's marketing.
Yeah,
It just needs
we
to be
can see
something.
it.
Yeah,
We know it.
we human beings, we're such visual creatures, and so the more somebody sees you, hears you, they're just going to be more inclined to like you and trust you. So
Yeah.
awesome. What about
So
you?
you're in
buddy?
Silverdale?
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like Silverdale. That's a great market over there.
It is nice. I mean, I grew up there, and then I came back home after a time in the Marine Corps. And, shoot, couldn't be anywhere
Thank
else.
you for
really.
your service.
Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, it was a good time.
My son, up until recently, was the lifeguard at the YMCA there. So
really?
He lived over there, yeah.
Oh yeah, we've probably seen him then.
Yeah.
That's cool. No, Silverdale's a great area. I mean, it's kind of different being over here in Bellevue, and I mean, you guys are in larger areas. Like I was telling Jeremy before. I mean, I live in Tracyton, and it's in between Silverdale and Bremerton, and we don't even have a stoplight. I mean, we have.
That's beautiful.
There's a gas station. There's a library. There's a bar. It's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is your market you a broader brush? Because
We do.
my parents just sold their house in Squim,
Okay,
which
yeah.
isn't that far from there, and the agent they got was more towards like Silverdale in
Oh, really?
the end.
Yeah.
And their house sold in like 5 minutes.
Oh,
Wow.
it's just
It was crazy.
there's nothing out there
The
that.
people that bought it lived in Arizona, and they bought it sight unseen.
Oh, for
Jeez.
sure.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
Yeah, I think there's a benefit for the housing on the east side, at least what I can see is like you can go a little further out and you'll still find land.
Yeah.
Over in Kitsap, it's a little challenging. You go anywhere for 20 minutes and then you run into water.
Yeah.
You can be in the bay, you can be in a swamp, you can be in wetlands. I mean, you can, the rainforest. I mean,
Yeah.
you can. There's only so much, so it's a little bit tight, I think.
Awesome. Well, you guys, thank you so much for being on the show. This has been a lot of fun. I really appreciate it. And thank you for tuning in. And make sure to come back and watch next week.